Hello, one and all, and welcome to another episode of Baggers Chat. Surprise, surprise, another 28-point loss. Carlton v Collingwood. Carlton 7 goals, 15-57 to Collingwood, 13 goals, 7-85. Another 28-point loss, as I just mentioned. Initial thoughts before I transition into you, Daff. Just a few questions before you speak. Was there any willingness to win the game? Was there any willingness to take it up to the Premiership fancies? Was there any willingness to take it up to the arch fucking rivals? Yeah. And of course, before I transition to you, from the first 5 minutes, me personally, I knew what the outcome was going to be. If there's no, I guess, effort shown in the first 5 minutes, I don't know what else to expect. But Duff, how are you? Congrats on your first debut on Saturday, and hopefully, I think it's like this every single week, isn't it? Hopefully hopefully Carlton doesn't spoil your weekend too much. But how are you, mate?
No, I'm good, mate. Yeah, lucky that happened. Otherwise, the weekend would have been a lot worse. But yeah, seriously, you look at these. I'm just looking at these questions up and down and going, nah. There's no willingness to do anything today. I've been saying it for the first 10 minutes every week. You know we're going to win or lose.
Yeah.
Didn't have a crack until 30 points down, like we do every week. When the pressure's off, we start to crack in, don't we? So, and looking at that last point, I did hear it about 15 minutes ago that 12 players didn't lay a tackle in the first half. That's so bad.
It's hard to do. It's actually hard to do.
Hard to do. Yeah, it is hard to do. Well, like with initial thoughts, I thought the first quarter they were just on their own the whole time. It was a training drill. Like you go, everyone go, good kicking, my check, and anyone could have kicked a bag today. Realistically, we're just so. There's no brand. Our brand is terrible to watch. There hasn't been one good game this year. No. Maybe the Geelong game is a pass mark. That was the one game I reckon maybe I was pretty happy about. But round one, Richmond, nah. Giants win shit. North, second half, okay. But they're crap. So, And then you look at the rest of the games and you go, West Coast 100-point win. It was probably the least excited I've been about a 100-point win.
Yeah.
Well, they just lost to Hawks by 120, which is unbelievable too. So that just shows you where we're at currently. And we've both been saying it. It's round 10 and we haven't fixed any of the issues. It's actually gotten worse as the round's gone on. Usually it should be getting better.
Yeah.
Teams usually, they might struggle at the start of the year and maybe bank a few wins, which we did. We thought maybe they were just building into the year. We'll give them weeks, but we've given enough chances now. Enough chances, and when you play a team like Collingwood in a big game like that, and you can't pull your finger out, there's problems within the team. And I saw a clip of Vossi and Cripper actually arguing on the bench. I'm not sure what quarter it was, but there's something going down there. I'm not sure if people are just looking into it a little bit much, but they were, just talking about something, and it looks very, very serious. So that's what all players should be doing. Look at themselves in the eye. Stop high-fiving each other after a conceded goal. Like the back six, on your mate, it's all right. Why don't you just let them know it's not good enough?
Yeah.
It's not good enough. But, yeah, it's too hard to come back. You can put the Lions through finals currently until we see maybe a radical change, which I don't see happening.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit more of a misunderstanding between Voss and Cripps. I don't know. I actually haven't seen the vision. I've been trying to search for the vision, but I haven't actually seen the vision. I really want to see it, but it looks more like a misunderstanding with what I'm hearing, and it just shows that Voss is explaining something, whatever it is, and then Cripps is actually looking confused.
Yeah,
and it looks like and a lot of people have said. On the media and stuff, just saying that, the fans are saying that the players have actually lost hope. They've lost hope in the system. This is 2021 stuff.
Yes.
And
exactly.
and if I hear one more if I hear something else in the club come out saying, "Oh, nah, we've given up on the system," or whatever, how much to these players actually hold their egos above the club and say,
Yeah.
oh, no, we've given up on this system. Fuck Voss. We want
Again.
literally when T got sacked,
Bolton, same thing.
Yeah, but I was furious at the players because I'm like you pretty much pushed them out the door, and it was the big leaders, and they unfortunately they do have a say more than a coach, which I don't agree with whatsoever. And it seems like now that once again the players are losing their I guess their hunt with this whole system and with this with their effort with this system. And I just don't understand how the players can go out there and be confused with the system because they go out there every single day through the week to train it. Michael Voss, I would assume, is working his absolute fucking ass off because he wouldn't be taking this for granted. He wouldn't be taking this second job as an AFL coach for granted. So I'm sorry, but if I hear another thing come out of the club saying that there is misconnection with their players and their game system, if you got misconnection, sort it fucking out. Learn it. Learn the system. Go out of your way. Instead of spending 2 hours on the track, spend 2 hours, 30 minutes on the track learning the fucking system. It's week in, week out, and it's always the same shit where I hear after a loss like that, there's always the thing to do with Bossy's done. Bossy's gone. When I've said it from day one, not day one, but I've said it through the season when we started to lose. When are the players going to take accountability for their performances?
Yeah.
It's beyond a joke, Daff. It's
actually
beyond a joke. It is laughable. And I have said it. I'm now at a point now where I'm not angry.
Yeah.
I'm actually beyond the point of angry because I am actually I lost hope today. I didn't leave. But I was watching, and then I went there with a man of mine that I haven't seen in a while, and I actually was talking to him more than I was actually watching the game. And then I was saying to him, I'm like, I don't think I've ever done this where I've actually not watched the game.
Yeah.
And I've actually lost hope. So to touch on the 12 players who didn't lay a tackle in the first half, I want to work out exactly who it was. I know that there will be some way to find out. I don't know the exact stat, but 12 players who didn't lay a tackle that's more than half on the ground. That is unbelievable. And the amount of the amount of ball that the Pies had in the first half for them not to lay a tackle, and Vossi would be saying he's happy with the effort.
Oh fuck! No,
really, you can't. You get me out there next week. Get me out there, and I will show more effort. I will. Yeah. That's the thing. Supporters know how much it means. I don't know if these players do.
They don't.
Oh, so today with this episode, it will be a little bit more shaped across moments that happen in the game. It won't really be segments. It will more to do with some moments that we'll touch on because I think it needs to be touched on. So first things, Daff. Obviously the selection call with George Hewitt being omitted and being the sub, and Ed Kerner keeping his place as the sub last week and now playing this week in the best 22. What do you think of that? Was that egotistical?
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. I think Hewitt's been very down this season. I thought he's been pretty poor the last couple of weeks. I don't think that's the worst decision of the weekend. I think it's a bad decision, definitely. I agree with what you're saying, 100%. Not a good decision, but what the fuck is TDK playing in the twos for? They got two ruckmen. Get him in.
Yeah.
What is going to hurt? Are we really not willing to take a risk? We've been losing games anyway. So they bring in Cameron and they got Cox. So, and we're going to put Jack Silvani in the fucking ruck again. It's just not working. That's done. I don't want to watch that anymore.
No.
I like good on JSOS. He has a crack, but I'm done with having a crack. You know what I mean? I want to win games of football.
Yeah.
I know. Like, it's not 27 and 2019 where you go, that's a good loss.
Yeah.
The decisions are wrong every week. And if I don't see Jacob Wiedering drop next week, as long as I think Marchbank played today in the twos, if he's fit and ready to go, you get him in. You get him in or you get Sam Durden in. And for all I know, based on contract talks I've seen, Mitch McGovern can just pack his bags.
Oh.
He can pack his bags. He can go to Port Adelaide or wherever he wants to go, play with his fucking brother. I'm not trying to single out individuals here, but if you're not putting your heart in for the club that's paid you 5
Much
years,
money.
800,000 a year, what's the point of keeping you? So, but yeah, on that point, Ed Curnow, I hate it singling out individuals because I thought he was okay, tagging Nick Dacos. I thought he didn't have huge impact. I thought he was okay, but yeah, very, very odd selection there.
Yeah. So, of course, Nick Dacos ended up having 27 touches for the game, which is, of course, Collingwood's highest disposal gets, along with De Goey and also Josh Dacos as well. So whether Ed Kerner was kind of transitioning between going to Nick Dacos and Jordan De Goey, I'm not too sure. I was seeing him more on Nick Dacos. As you said, I don't think the impact with it was there. So that's what we were kind of crying out for. If Ed Kerner was to come in, I want him to tag. So I don't know next week if Voss is going to go down that path with trying to bring in Kerner. But there was times when Kerner wasn't tagging and he was getting the ball.
Oh.
And no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have a tagger just out there just to tag this one player.
Hey, they're going to be a footballer too.
They've got to be a footballer. Spot on.
I don't know if you remember it. I don't know. I think it might have been in the third, and we were on a little bit of had a bit of momentum, and they're running on the members wing, and I think Akers went to Curnow, and then Curnow was running to 50. Harry Mackay was right in front of me, leading at him, just a short hit up, and he goes long to hit the goal square, and then he missed it. So it was like he wasn't going for goal, but he wasn't passing it. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
People have a go at Harry Mackay. He's leading up to the footy, had his space,
Yeah.
hit him.
Yeah.
Easiest kick in the game. 15-meter little stab pass. And he goes long loopy because it's like if I think Carlton, the way they think in inside 50s is like the longer you get it, the longer you get it will win. It's like, how easy is that to defend? You know, when you go long and it hits the goal square, you just punch that through.
Darcy
it's so
Moore,
easy to defend.
but Darcy Moore had an absolute day out for that reason. And the amount of times I was seeing Matt Owens or Corey Dern on Darcy Moore, and Darcy Moore would be absolutely licking his lips if he's seeing that.
He's getting the ball. He's broken the record for intercept marks in the history of the game. Yeah. And like I would have broken the record based on those inside 50. Yeah. He was standing inside 50 on his own sometimes. Yeah. Like I think you've got to make him accountable for a man.
Yeah.
At a quarter time, you go, Jack Silvani, pick him up.
Yeah.
Pick him up.
Yeah.
Defend him. I know that sounds odd, but it might, because it was just like, it'd be Harry and Charlie, right, around the wing. And then you see Darcy Moore floating around the back because he doesn't pick up anyone. I mean, he's a good footballer, but, you know, when he's accountable, it's a little bit harder to do that stuff. And then he just goes and flies for a mark. Like,
Shocking.
That's on the coaches. That's huge. I know it's on the players as well, but coaching staff, you get a half of footy where he's taking all those marks and you can't fix it.
Yeah.
It's on I agree with you. It's the players mainly, but as your role as a coach, you sit in the fucking box. You can see it.
Yeah.
Like, when's it gonna change?
Yeah.
Like, it should have been 10 minutes in. The runner should go out to fucking Jack Silvani or whoever it is, pick him up.
Yeah.
Or stop kicking to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I don't know. But I'm not a coach, so.
And so with that, so whether it was whether it's more to do with the football IQ with them getting it forward and always getting it into Darcy Moore, or if, as you said, if it was Silvani or someone going to Darcy Moore as more of that, I don't know who it was, but someone went to Aaliyah from Port Adelaide, and they went. I think it was Kyle Langford. I don't know for sure, but I think it was someone like that. Yeah, and that was and it was like a tag that they actually limited Aaliyah because they know how damaging he is. Yeah. So, as you said, I'm going to ask you one question before we touch on some more moments because I want to go through these because I think these are really key. Yep. But right now, like, I know that you don't know, but right now, is it the players or is it the coaching staff right now in your mind? Which one do you think they needs? Because there's different sides of the story. I see it different. I see it different where they aren't fucking trying out there. But then there's different parts of the stories where Bossy isn't changing anything either.
Yeah.
So is there something that you see more than the other, or is it just both equally fucking shit?
You don't laugh, you cry. The good old saying, but uh, it's almost a little bit. I guess 100% on the players for mine. I was
Okay.
absolutely disgusted today, especially just that effort. But like I said about just before, like if you can't fit in coaching wise, you got to be able to fix that stuff, man. Did we put? Apparently, I heard on the fan cams. I left at 3/4 time. Viewers, I don't leave many games early, but today my brain could not keep up with it. But apparently, in the last quarter, Matt Kennedy was on my check.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Someone
Maybe.
said on fan cams there was a 10-minute period. Wiedering couldn't stop my check, so we put Kennedy on him. Is that
That's coaching. but that is
that's
coaching.
coaching?
Because also, I mean, one of the moments that we would touch on is a few moments that we touched on that we will touch on, which is coaching. Mitch McGovern was shifted forward.
And
So
Silvani,
Silvani back. That's what I was thinking of. I'm like, what was the other one? Silvani halfback. What was
yeah.
I don't if that was something to try and to try and stop my check, maybe, but me.
That's I don't know if I'd imagine you'd agree because that's exactly Teague 2021.
Oh,
Like
spot on.
remember Melbourne game round 9 2021, Liam Jones full forward. Remember that? We talked about it on the chat, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The game, I knew the game that day was over because we did that. That's the white flag. It's like, we'll just
white flag.
We're desperate. But it's like, what? Like, when you're changing that, it's over. It's over because your system goes down the pile.
Yeah.
Because you got Sauce, who's a forward. Obviously, he's trained as a forward. Goes down back. And then you got Gov up for half forward who did not want to be there today. With like in the last 6 weeks, he hasn't wanted to be there, which is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's on coaching too. Like, if the only way you can fix something is through changing positions, that means you are lacking as a coach and a coaching group. You know what I mean? You should be able to fix it with the guys you've got there in their positions. And like for your initial question, I think it's a 50-50 split. I think it's on onus on all of them. I think it's as a whole as well, just top to bottom as a club, I think we've completely lost our, way. And it's hard to say, but I'm jealous of Collingwood and the way they embrace their fans and their culture and their history.
Yep.
And they feed off their energy.
Yep.
We might think they're feral bastards in the crowd, but look on the ground, like they feed off that energy, and that's pretty much sparked most of their comebacks. Yep. Seriously, you hear that, like that, they start to hum. It's just like they don't feed off our energy. No. We're there every week. Last week we almost caught up and won. How loud was that in Marvel? And they put up that first half performance, and we were still there to cheer them on. In all my time as a Carlton supporter, I've never really seen them feed off the crowd. Maybe early last year, but you could scrap round 1 to 10 last year. No point. We finished 9th, Pato, and we've got worse. So we didn't make finals, which we should have last year. We're playing much better footy.
Yeah,
we missed finals and we've got worse.
Yeah,
like you've come top 4 and gone worse and maybe come 7th. You've come 9th, and you're probably going to finish at the bottom 6 or 7 if we keep playing like this.
Yeah. And of course, we'll touch on the ladder position as well. So, of course, we were ninth to start the round, and now we, of course, shifted down to 11th on the ladder. And, of course, we're playing Sydney this week, and they're 12th. So, very, very interesting to touch on that. But we'll now just transition into, of course, the apparent niggle that was kind of mentioned throughout the week. Of course, our captain, Patrick Cripps, apparently it's a bit of the back injections that he had a couple of years ago with apparently he was having some back injections. I don't know if that was confirmed a couple of years ago. I know it was very much a rumor, but of course it's come out again today. I don't know if that was once again a rumor, but I think it has to be touched on because if it is that case, when is Cripper and when is the coaching staff going to actually say, you need to be a little bit less selfish and actually bring in a fit 100% player? Like, when is it that And I love that Crip says, no, I'm fine to go. But the coaches also have to say, no, you're not actually right to go. We aren't going to put you out there for a arch rival game if you're not 100% fit. And of course, no one is 100% fit going into, like halfway through the season, you do get niggles and stuff. But if it's a back injury and it's actually preventing him from performing, that's when it's an issue. So what did you think of that, Duffy Boy? I don't know if you've heard of that, but in that case, what's your thoughts on it if it is true?
The way I look at it is, mate, it's simple. If he's out there, he's fit. If he's out there, he's fit. There's no excuses. I thought he wasn't our worst today. I don't think he was. I think he was a little bit better today. It couldn't have been worse from last week, but he was definitely better. It took him a while to warm up. I think he actually started pretty well. He's one of our better players in that first 5-10 minutes. I thought he was hitting the ball hard and doing, normal stuff. And I think his 26 touches were actually worthy of 26 touches. Like, he was actually impacting the play. But yeah, on the niggle, he just, if he's out there, he's fit for mine. And, I know you're saying 100% if the coaches, surely they wouldn't let him go out there if he was injured. I don't think they would. I think that was actually a big Teague problem. I think that was the problem why they wanted to get rid of him. He was the one going overruling the fitness staff, and that's where it all ended for him. So hopefully that's not the case this time. I wouldn't believe it would be, because I think there's been a couple of times last year where we did rest him and we were able to cover it. But yeah, hopefully he can deal with it a little bit, and hopefully it doesn't, it doesn't really matter anymore now, but hopefully he's fit for our inevitable 24-point loss to the Swans next week.
Yeah. And isn't it bad that it's 3 out of 10 and it's already season over? So we'll transition into Harry Mackay and his first goal that he kicked. So Harry looked, he didn't look back to his old self, but he looked better and he looked more confident, which is great to see. Have to touch on his first goal. Who got around him to get? He has been absolutely shat on in the media. Absolutely shat on. Absolutely dragged through the dirt from every single media outlet, saying this guy's overpaid, this guy's overrated, blah blah blah. This guy is going to stay at Carlton until 2030. Carlton are doomed, right? If he kicks the first goal of the game for your club, Cripper was the only one that I saw get around him. Who else? There was probably maybe 2, 3. Every single person on that ground act like it's his first goal. Act like it's his reignition to get himself back to confidence. That could have been the moment. And I'm sorry, you had to get around him at that moment. Every single person around us in the Carlton members were like, yes, Harry, that's what we want. Yeah. And then we waited a second, we're like, wait, no one's getting around him. He's just celebrating his own. So, Duff, what were your thoughts on Harry Mackay's game? And, of course, on that first goal, was there anything that you hope to see a little bit more with that celebration with that first goal?
Yeah, it was literally, that was right in front of me. He was right directly in front of me. And I saw him doing the drop punt. I was watching him pre-game a fair bit, just seeing what he was getting up to in terms of his set shots, and he was doing a lot of drop punts. So I was confident that he was actually going to kick it. So obviously, good kick. I thought he was better today, like you said, but he's still got a little bit of improvement to come, and I think that'll come. I think it was 2 off 2 today, which is still probably, a little bit off. But, like you say, man, like I saw Cripper come up to him and grab his jumper and, get up and about. But we see it too many years. How many years have we seen these moments where you need to get up and about and they just lack the energy and they go, I'll just go back to my position and, stand there because they got their paycheck. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for them. Mitch McGovern's at home in his backyard fucking sipping on pina coladas while we're here on a stupid fucking show talking about these dickheads.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Not a stupid show. Sorry to take that back. But you know what I mean? Like it's so bad. We pay to watch them and they're getting paid to do them.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. But shout out to Cripper because, he knows what it means to be kind of dragged through the mud in the media. I thought 2021 he copped it heaps, and especially during last year when he won the Brownlow and everyone was saying he didn't deserve it and all that type of shit. He gets it. He gets Carlton. So not good enough as a whole.
Yeah, spot on. Jesse Motlop and his check side. I assume that would have been right in front of you as well.
Yep. Yep. It was.
Check side 250. Discuss.
Oh, mate, it was. It was going off like at that time because everyone was standing up because there was a brawl going on or whatever. I was like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is the moment to really just get back in this game or kick a goal from 50. And then I look at his like where he's holding the ball with his hands. I'm going, oh my god, I was going. Well, he's a good kick drop punt. Like I think he's an actual better drop punt than snap. Because I thought, that Melbourne game, he's popping him from 50.
Yeah.
I was like, what as a whole, we keep going away from what we're good at or what we can do. And another moment was that Ed Kerno handball off to Charlie when he's 40 out. Like, what I saw him in the fucking warm-ups kicking drop punts from 50. Well, why? It's like in their heads, something's just like they can't lock down and just do what they know best. And that's just not good enough from Jesse, and he's not good enough currently.
Yeah. And we'll touch on also the other small forward, Corey Dern. We're not going to touch on Owies because I reckon he was once again, he did his job again today. He kicked 2 goals, 1, and he missed a sitter in front of goal. But knowing Owies, he's expected to kick that, so I'm not going to shit on him. But Corey Dern, fuck me, the two small forwards the amount of times I hear how great this Carlton forward line is.
No, it's not.
We've got 2 talls down there that are good, that are semi-decent. No one else. We don't have any small forward staff.
No, we don't. And like, based on that, I know we love Jay Sauce. I love him a lot, Carlton through and through. But what does he add, Pato? Oh. No, like, I love he has a crack. He has a crack, 100%.
Yeah.
But what does he add, man? What has he added the last couple of years? Tell me, what does he add?
I would say it's because I've had this argument so many times with Savali. I reckon he's vital to this lineup, but he's I guess his aggression and his intent to hunt the football is always going to be there. But no more on the fucking effort.
Yes.
It's about the skill.
Yes. We're trying to win premierships. Effort doesn't win premierships.
No.
Effort doesn't win premierships.
Yeah.
Effort should be a prerequisite. It should be there every quarter of every minute of every game. Yeah. But he doesn't add anything. And dudes at Motlop, do they know how to crumb a ball or they fly for balls all the time?
Yeah.
It's not flying for balls. You got the best forward in the competition.
Yeah.
Charlie Kinder.
Yeah.
Flying for marks. This guy's a superstar, right? Are they fucking dumb?
Yeah.
They train. They fucking live and breathe the footy club every day. They're at the training ground seeing this guy play.
Yeah.
Be at the feet. Be at the feet. He's going to bring it down.
Yeah.
It's too hard to watch, Pato. It's too hard.
And I see it so much from the other end, though, from Collingwood, where every single time that there's a tall hack mark and there's a crumb, they're there. They are there. And then we see it from the other sense where it's Charlie or Harry in the pack or Pitnet going forward in the pack. Then there is Noble or Maynard or Darcy Moore around the pack.
Tom Mitchell, 58 times, he was out the back of the contest because he knows where to be. He doesn't get sucked into the contest. He doesn't get sucked into the contest because he's a good footballer. He's good football mind. We don't have enough of those. And I'm telling you, when we get to trade period, if I don't see any, play, we're going to look at these players with more IQ and they can hit targets that are quicker. We're too slow and skill isn't good enough to be anything.
Not at all. Completely spot on. We're now going to transition into a performance from our key defender, one of our vice captains, the leader in the back line, in a sense, Jacob Wettering. I mean, this year, of course, has been very poor for his standards and expectations from us supporters. He's been terrible, and we have to be realistic to put these players on a pedestal. We have to be harsh as well. We can't just be all the time being like, yeah, he's great, but also when he's not performing, we have to be pretty fucking harsh. And off-field stuff, completely shit, all right? It's completely shit. But whether it is down to that, or whether it is down to something else, I don't know. But if you are not performing on the field because of
Yeah.
mentality and you're not willing to take the risk that you normally would and you're not executing on the skills that you normally would, that is when it affects the side. One moment before I transition into you, Daff, is halfback. It was right in front of me. He marked it. I was like, great. He was right there. Okay. And he decided to go slow. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, there's options fucking there to switch. But anyway, like, okay, you can slow it down because he's a leader. So he knows what he's doing. Then he decides to chip a pass inside to, I think it was Matt Kennedy. And he missed the target. And I was going off and then it led to a goal.
Yeah.
And there was this person behind me who just went, fuck you, Wittering you. See you next Tuesday, as we'll say, Duffy boy. We won't say the actual word. Unbelievable from a vice captain and for a supporter to say that. And she actually walked out. She walked out after that moment.
But I don't blame her.
Don't blame her at all. So, Daff, what was your thoughts on the vice captain's performance, and what does this mean for Jacob Wittering?
Oh, I don't know what to say about him because he's one of the most reliable guys ever. In our team, we don't have many reliable blokes over the years, and he's one of those guys who's always there and picking up the best forwards, and he's wow. I don't really. You can scrap that shit about the scam. That was 6 weeks ago. I'm done with that now.
That's the thing.
He's playing footy. He's on the field. If he's on the field, he's fine. So, obviously, he's clearly lacking so much confidence, like the whole team is. But he sets the standard in that back six. I feel. Yeah. I don't know if I'm wrong there, but I feel like he's the guy. When he's got the ball, when he's using it well, that's when their confidence grows in our back six. I feel like this season that he's kind of backpedaling and playing safe, which has led to everyone else playing safe in that back six, and it's actually really hurt us going forward. I'm not sure what your take on that is, but like he just plays safe, and they're just him being the leader back there, and the barometer, I guess, in a sense back there, and for the team, if he plays shit, we tend to play bad.
Yeah,
like it just sets this tone because he's so important to this team. I know it's hard to say, but it's more in terms of a mentality rather than, his skills. Everyone has skills, right? But it's like when his mentality is off and it's negative and it's safe and he's just trying to play it safe and not win games, rather he's trying to hold off teams. But it's just, it sets the tone, and it happened again. Like you're talking about that kick. That's another safe kick. Doesn't take on a switch. And I was saying it today, we rush when we don't need a rush, and we don't rush when we need to rush.
Yeah.
Like when we're under the pump, we think we've got more time than we do. And then when we have time, we fuck it up. So it's ridiculous. These guys can't hit a side of a barn, and if he's not dropped the next couple of weeks, there's a problem.
Yeah. And of course, if he keeps these performances, there has to be there's no other way. He needs a the reality check of, well, if he's going out there, but he's going out there every single weekend expecting this to be okay, which it isn't okay. And you said there about, in a sense, where Jacob Wittering is so important to that back line, and try and treat him as a quarterback, okay? Then you treat a Darcy Moore on the other side of the spectrum, where the difference, okay? Darcy Moore always looks for the attacking option. When Wesley looks for the safe option so he doesn't fuck up the play. Yes. He doesn't want to be the one that fucks it up.
Yeah, but he still does.
But he still does. He still does. And I'll touch on one thing here, and I don't know if this really has much to do with I guess, with Wittering and his attacking play, but he had 100 meters gained. 100 meters gained, and he had 8 touches, which isn't a lot of the ball whatsoever. 8 touches of the ball. 8 disposals. He had 8 disposals with 3 pressure acts. I'll say it again. 3 pressure acts. And I'll say one more thing to put a nail in the coffin, Duff. He did not come off the bench. He did not come off the field to go on the bench. So he spent
100%.
He spent 119 minutes 28 seconds of 119 minutes and 28 seconds on the ground. So he did not come off the ground at all. he was on the ground the whole time, the whole game, and he produced 3 pressure acts, 8 disposals, and we know how much the ball was down there because Collingwood won the game. So the ball was obviously down there. It would be different if that was 100 and 140 point win to Carlton. That's different because the ball's not down there.
Yeah.
3 pressure acts with 100 meters gained off 8 disposals. I'm pretty confident to say that that's Wiedering's poorest game. And it's a lot of players was like that today. A lot of performances were just like, that is terrible. Yeah. And for an arch rival, arch nemesis game, line in the sand, it is your do or die contest. The amount of content we produced this week, hyping this up, saying this is it. It's do or die this week. It is now or never. If you don't stand up this week, season's done. This is a season-defining performance. If you don't stand up, it is a nail in the coffin in the best way possible if you don't produce the football that you want to produce today. And they didn't produce it. And we saw it in the first 5 minutes. We knew what the outcome would be. It would once again be a 20-plus point loss, and it would be 20 to 30 points that we would always lose to these sides. And we're never around. We were never going to beat them today.
No.
I was like, we can actually do this. I'm feeling it. I'm like, the crowd's getting around. I'm feeling it. Yeah. And they just didn't produce it. So before we touch on the last thing that I really want to touch on, is there anything else you want to touch on there about Jacob Wiedering, Duff?
No more on him. He doesn't deserve it.
Doesn't deserve it. So I think the last thing that we'll touch on, I know that we touched on a little bit about Mitch McGovern, so I don't think we'll touch on that again. That was just absolutely terrible. One last thing, and I wanted to make this the main event, okay? So act like this is a WWE card, Duffy boy. So obviously you have all the more important the undercard, and the main event as the last. Now, steel side bottom. Fuckwit, I'll say. Fuckwit. How dare you? But anyway, laughing at our performance / decision making.
Oh, it's either that, I see that he's going to mark it, or I know that's going to come to me at the front. I shouldn't say, but they just kept kicking it to him and he kept mocking it. I actually found myself laughing there a few times because he was just gloving everything. But pleasure to play alongside him, and hopefully he keeps just gloving them like that.
Yeah,
isn't that bad? We are back to being laughing. We are back to being literal training cones on a field. We are walking around being absolutely stagnant. We aren't doing anything. So I just said, if you don't laugh, you cry. Really, that's what it is. So, what is your thoughts on that? I need your thoughts, please.
Yeah, I think he's an absolutely phenomenal player. Side bottom, he's kills us every year. I think
every year,
one of those parts. Every year he kills us on that wing. We give him about 100 meter space, but that just shows you where we're at. I think that comment just literally reflects how the whole AFL world is currently looking at it. People don't like us, mate, and they're loving it. They're loving it again. We're crap again. And everyone loves it. I'm telling you, I would say all other 17 clubs are loving this. There's something about us. There's an aura about us. Last year we were winning. They started to get a little bit, oh, shit, like they're actually playing good footy, and they started to hate us a little bit more in terms of, when Collingwood started to play better, you started to hate them a bit more. Richmond, those teams. And now we've done that, didn't do anything, and now we're shit again.
Yeah.
We're back to square one, and everyone's laughing at us. And Steel Sidebottom's laughing in a fucking post-game interview, for Christ's sake. And he's not wrong either. That's just laughable. We're kicking it to him. Darcy Moore was smirking. He knows. 11, he broke the record for intercept marks, but anyone could have done it if they were in that Collingwood backline today. So that footage needs to be shown at training this week.
Yeah. Actually, that is a good thing that you actually touch on there right now. Was there any footage shown through the week of those? And I'm sorry, we watched the vision through the week. It made us cringe. It made us, it made our hearts, we were back in that moment again. That's how we were watching the vision. We were like, there is no way in hell that these players aren't seeing this either. They would have been in that match match preview that they do for the game. They had to show that. The last 2 minutes, every single player that was playing in the best 22, 23 had to get in that room and watch that last few moments and see what was actually happening. And I reckon I probably would have... Actually, this is a question. Would you have rathered a 28-point loss, or would you have rathered a 4-point loss in the dying seconds like that?
If it was a 4-point loss and we played good, I would have taken it.
Yeah. It's a bit of
today.
Yeah.
Today was like the least interested I've ever been in a football game.
Spot on.
Half time. Like me and you know how passionate we are about this team. And if we're sitting there, you're talking to your mate for most of the game. I was in third quarter, I was just staring into the abyss, looking at fucking seagulls on the ground. Like, it's just ridiculous. You know, we focus on every play usually, like bit by bit, and you can't focus on the game. And when your teams look like, it's just ridiculous. We're in no man's land right now as a football club, and well, there's always next year, isn't there?
Always next year. We say that every year, don't we? But actually, before I touch on one more thing before we wrap up the episode, I was actually, it's funny you said that because I was actually focusing more on my Supercoach players out there today. I was actually more focusing on, so I had Walshy, Dacos, I think I had De Goey as well. So I was like watching those three, and I'm like, in that last quarter, I'm like, go on, De Goey. Keep going, mate. Go on. Get a few more touches. Isn't that bad? I looked at my mate and I'm like, isn't this bad? It is really bad. It is so bad. And I don't know how we keep... I actually don't know.
We are like, I was saying it, insanity means that you go somewhere expecting a different result every week.
Yeah.
We are insane.
Yeah.
We are stupid. All the people in the stadium, stupid, thinking we would get something different.
Yeah.
Not having a go at supported, but we are stupid thinking we would win. We fucking tipped us in the preview again.
Yeah,
not doing it. We are insane, Pato. We have to agree on that. How do we do that?
I literally was thinking that on the walk home. I was just like, wait, we actually I'm thinking, I'm like, there is no possible way that I'm going to tip Sydney, that I'm going to tip Carlton next week against City. You watch. Something will happen. I put a line to it. Yeah, I am putting a line.
If we do it next week, if we do that if we tips Carlton next week, I will officially not go on Baggers Chat again. I tip Carlton next week.
All right, good.
Not tipping them.
It's just it's so hard to explain because we don't want to look like it's a joke to us because we both know that we are now at a boiling point that it's beyond anger. It's just laughable, and this is how we treat with just shit. Is we kind of laugh about it, and we kind of move on from it because, I know that as soon as this episode's up and running, and it will be 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, on Monday morning that it will be released, I'll forget about that game. I probably will because I just lost interest. I lost hope.
You can't, if you literally get yourself sucked up, and I can't be thinking about it anymore. Like once we end this call and I do whatever we need to do with posts or whatever, I'm not thinking about it until Friday. No, I'm not.
Completely.
We need to stop.
Yeah.
We need to stop thinking about them because they don't deserve it until they prove us otherwise, which I don't think they will this season.
No.
They don't deserve it, mate.
Yeah. Completely spot on. I think this episode's gone a little bit shorter to what we usually would. I think it's about, I don't know exactly, but I know that it's a little bit shorter, but I think it's more short and sharp. We did ramble on a little bit throughout the episode, as we always do, especially me. But I think it's just, we have to try and keep on doing episodes every single week because if we stop doing it when we're playing like shit and we come back when we're playing good, that's not what this is all about. We have to go through the lows of the lows. And of course, if we ever get there, we go with the highs and the highs. But Daffy boy, is there anything else you want to touch on for this episode?
Nah.
Short and sharp, absolutely love it. Yeah. No more. See what? No, I'm kidding. Make sure to all the viewers like, comment, subscribe. I know that right now it seems very dark and hollow, this whole club. Their performances, all that. I know it's tough, but if we just keep on showing up, without the club, without us, there's no club. So we are the stakeholders within this, and we have to keep showing up, supporting this club as much as it hurts. Unfortunately, I just think that we will eventually get there. We will.
Yeah.
It eventually will happen. It's just all a part of the journey. So, Daffy, absolute pleasure, mate, as every single week. And as always, to all the blue baggers out there, up the baggers.